Hi, everyone. I already know this next 20 minutes is going to be full of laughter. My name's Mark Walmsley, and I'm the founder of the Arts and Culture Network. We're 120,000 strong now across our 8 LinkedIn groups, and the events are great fun. They're free, the networking events. People get hired during those events, which is a scream. But this is the best bit of the job for me. This is where I get to introduce you to one of our full members. Yemisi has joined me. Yemisi, do you like Yemi as a shortened version?
Yemisi.
Yemisi, it stays
Yes.
Yemisi. There we go. Thank you so much for being one of our full members. As we were chatting earlier, we're entirely member funded, our community. So the LinkedIn group management, the event hosting is all supported by our members. But this is the bit where I get to have some fun and well, I have a rather unconventional interviewing style, as
Oh
we say,
God.
which pulls out anecdotes, preferences, stories, surprises, and laughter. And so that's what we're going to do. So in a moment, I'm going to take you on your fantasy cultural year.
Mm.
Do so with the answers to 10 questions. But before I do that, perhaps you'd be kind enough to say hi to everybody. Where are you? The work you do, and throw in a little bit about a superpower you might have and your
Oh
passion.
my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm Yemisi Mokuolu, and I'm actually in sunny Worthing, on the south coast of England, just about 30 minutes west of Brighton. And I'm a business advisor, but what I do is I support people in the creative industries or innovators, or basically people who've got a business idea or they're running a business that's going to have some kind of cultural change, or social impact. And I give them basic business structure so that they can have really good foundations, which I really believe is the recipe for being sustainable, being able to grow, and really being able to be creative. Actually, I think strong foundations is the magic recipe for real creativity. And my superpower is that I can see through the beep beep.
There might be a B and an S in there somewhere, mightn't there? Cut the C, cut the C. Yeah.
So I think that's a valid superpower, right?
Yeah, that's a very good superpower. Yeah, I love that. Now, so just to give me a sense of the kind of projects that you work on and the people
Hmm.
you work with, tell me about your favorite client.
My favorite.
Client.
Oh goodness. Oh,
Well,
I
no,
love
actually,
my.
that's probably unfair to the other
Yes.
clients,
Yeah,
right?
because I do
So,
love yeah.
tell us about give us an example engagement where you've helped people.
Sure. I've been fortunate enough to be picked up by French and German governments and the European Commission to design business development programs and accelerators and incubators across Africa. What I really enjoy is being able to go into a community and for example, Zimbabwe went into the community of entrepreneurs there and was able to help them to see past the beep beep and and really get them to think about what matters to them more so than what they need to say to other people. So basically help them to find their purpose, because it may sound like a cliche, but when you're an entrepreneur, you've got to get up every morning and no one is cheerleading you, no one is motivating you. But if you are really aligned to your purpose, the thing that motivates you, and you don't feel ashamed about it, and you feel really close to it, and you're really kind to yourself, you really spring out of bed every morning and you're able to overcome these unbelievable barriers. So it was just really wonderful to be able to, I guess, create holistic looking programs that aren't just about being able to do marketing, being able to do good financial planning, but actually being able to have authenticity and integrity and loving yourself. And it was just so wonderful seeing that reveal when the entrepreneur is given permission to actually be their amazing self. So that's what I really, really enjoy doing, going into these dry training programs and uplifting and bringing the human. person out of it. So
That's
yeah.
that's brilliant. Thank you. And I'm sure
Yeah.
there are several people out there who
Mm.
benefited from
Yeah.
your help
Thank
in that
you.
respect. I've written down no BS BS. And that's
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
The first BS we know about. The second BS is business support.
Oh, fantastic.
No BS BS.
I
What?
like that because
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie to you. That's why I started my company because I didn't like the business support that was being offered.
yeah,
Yeah, so I think I might have to thank you for that.
yeah. You can steal that with my
Yeah,
pleasure.
I love that.
As an aside, I do brand
Mm.
and marketing workshops designed to capture that sort of thing. So,
Nice.
but you've got that one. So you've just had a
Oh,
90
thank
you've
you.
just had a 90-minute workshop in 5 seconds.
I love it.
Brilliant.
Oh,
Excellent. Right, now let's go on our
brilliant.
journey, shall we?
Okay.
There are no wrong answers.
Okay.
You can throw it back at me if you wish, but I'm going to create your fantasy cultural year and take
Mm,
you through the first week of it. Okay.
okay.
And I do that by asking you 10 easy questions. Now, to place us somewhere in the world, I need to know what your favorite building is. Anywhere, anything, you may have been there, you may have always wanted to go there. It may
I
be
know what it is. It just doesn't
excellent.
exist.
Oh, well, this will be a first.
Mm.
Okay. What is
Should
it?
I say it?
Yeah.
So it's Tatlin's Tower, and it was this Russian constructivist artist in that 19 sort of 18, so 1918 period. And it was a sketch that he did for the Eiffel Tower, which did not become the Eiffel Tower. But I just love it. Tatlin's Tower, it's beautiful, really geometric but sweeping. Iron, very minimalist.
Yeah.
Constructivism was the whole period. But there was something, it was like almost like the meeting of Art Nouveau and oh my goodness, Art Deco.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm going to show our visitors it so that we can picture where you're going to be. Um, bear with me. I'll share the screen
yes, please, yeah.
and you can show us. I think this is it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow, someone's made one. Look here.
Yes, because it's one of the most, but he's one was, I believe it just stayed as a sketch.
Wow. And look,
It's wonderful, isn't it?
that's what it might have looked like.
Yeah. But isn't it? I don't know. I love it.
And where was it going to be built?
I don't know. I believe it was supposed to be the Eiffel Tower, if I remember correctly.
Okay. Well, let's assume then that you're
Mhm,
sitting on that lovely grass at the bottom of the Eiffel Tower,
mhm.
but it's not the Eiffel Tower.
It's Tatlin's Tower.
It's Tatlin's Tower. Okay. Can you imagine the difference?
Yeah,
Um,
right.
but isn't it interesting? You can I've seen an image once that was done like pointillism, and it was a
Hmm.
landscape of Paris, and it was clear that that was the Eiffel Tower out of
Mm.
6 dots. Da, 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 da.
Mm.
And it was fascinating. It's wonderful how art in that respect can become so powerful that it represents the city
Mm.
more than any other thing. A little bit like Big Ben. Um,
Mm.
or the Statue of Liberty.
Can I jump in?
Mm.
Can we be at Tatlin's studio instead?
Yeah, where's that?
I think it's in Moscow. It's Russian. I don't know.
Okay, then we're going to move. Like on Star Trek, where they go, and we're going to teleport to.
Yeah.
We're in Moscow. Let's say we're outside. We're somewhere near Red Square in
Okay.
Moscow, and we can see the top of Tatlin's Tower wherever it.
Yes.
Because he's done one there as well.
Yeah.
And we're in his studio. Excellent. That's where we're starting. Right. So um, I want you to imagine it's
Hmm.
summer in
Hmm.
Moscow. It's
Hmm.
warm, uncharacteristically warm. And you're sitting at a pavement cafe and you can see Tatlin's studio and you can
Hmm.
see Tatlin's tower. And you're enjoying a break and there is a book on the table next to you. Now, it can be your favorite book. It can be a book that's been with you all your life. It could be a book that's changed your life, or it could be a recent discovery. What might that book be?
Oh, it's really annoying because I can't remember the name of it.
I,
But
I
the
can
but
try and
the
Google it.
book, um, it's okay. It's fine. The two that come to mind is Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. I can't remember. I'm so terrible. Anyone that watches this back, as a card-carrying Nigerian, I completely apologize. And the other one that comes to mind is my favorite book, The Hungry Caterpillar.
Oh, yes.
Love that book.
Yeah. I used to read a similar book to my
Mhm.
children when they were young,
Mhm.
called Percy the Park Keeper.
Ah,
And we now live near a nature reserve, and there is a guy
yes.
who feeds the squirrels and the foxes, and
Yeah.
he looks the spitting image of Percy the Park.
Oh,
So I arranged for my daughter to come down, who's now in her early 20s.
yes.
And I took her to meet George, and she was almost in tears because he just brought back
Oh.
Percy the Park Keeper. Yeah, that's a
I
great.
think we'll go with The Hungry Caterpillar.
Love that. Hungry Caterpillar.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's sitting there. Imagine
Mm,
yourself in that environment. Sun
mm,
streaming down.
mm,
It's 6 p.m. It's sunny. We're in July. And there is a drink on your left.
mm.
It can be any drink you like. What would you choose in those circumstances?
Oh my goodness. I've got loads of stuff going through my mind, but I'll with the hot chocolate maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So
I had a lemongrass tea in my mind as well, sort of thing. But like an iced tea, but lemongrass sort of
okay,
thing.
you can have that as a chaser to your hot.
Yeah, thank you. Because it's a hot day, that's the thing. So I
Yeah.
think I might go with my lemongrass infused iced tea.
Now,
Mhm,
I want you to imagine that you're feeling quite pleased with yourself because
mhm.
you've just come from a meeting in Tatlin's studio,
Okay.
okay, with his family foundation,
Mm,
who are quite wealthy, and
mm.
they like to fund research trips in the arts and culture. Okay. Now they've asked
Oh.
you if you'd like to go on a year-long study trip,
Mhm,
very well paid, first class all the way. Loved ones can come and visit you, um,
mhm,
and that you study the arts and culture sector in that
mhm,
country to bring back anything that you think they might need to know about.
mm,
Now, it sounds like the perfect gig. Okay.
mhm,
You get to choose where you start.
mhm,
Anywhere in the world, you can go.
mhm,
You have to choose a country whose arts and culture landscape you're going to study for them.
mhm.
Where would you go?
I'd stay in Russia.
Stay in Russia. Okay.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic. Okay.
Yeah. I have
So,
a real fascination with the creative history of Russia. It's like one of my favorite. Yeah.
yeah. Have you
It,
seen the movie The
mm.
Russian Ark?
I've never even heard of it.
It's it's about an hour long,
Yeah.
set in the palace in St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
It's in one take.
I will. Thank you. That's another gift you've given me. Thank you. Brilliant.
It's incredible how they didn't see other cameras. I mean, they must have rehearsed it over and over
Yes.
again. Um,
But,
I'm tempted to play the trailer.
oh,
Hang on, let's see.
thank you.
Let's see.
Thank you.
Right.
Step in.
Hang on while this just finishes.
Yes, yes.
I'll let the ads get out of the
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Right, I'm going to share my screen again. Hang on.
Mhm.
I told you we would go off piste, and we have.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we knew.
Where are we? Let's see if this works. Tell me if you can't hear it.
Okay.
If you can't hear it, tell me. Oh, share sound. There we go. Right. Got it?
I've seen it. I can see it perfectly.
Here it comes.
Wellspring is proud to present a milestone in the history of cinema.
It's so amazing, isn't it?
What? Yeah. I mean, it's difficult because the
Not
trailer
only is
doesn't,
Russian
you know,
Ark
but
the longest shot in film history, it is also the first feature film ever created in a single take.
There we
I'll
go.
definitely have to 300 years of history, amazing. I'm definitely gonna have to.
I know.
So
It's and in 2002 they didn't have much digital storage capacity, right?
I didn't even think about that actually.
Yeah. So and in one take, so uh,
Yes,
one camera, one take. It's a
I'll
lot.
definitely watch that. Thank you for that.
No, it's my pleasure. Sorry, we digress.
Of course,
Right,
happily.
let's catch up.
Yes. Okay.
Um, okay, so you're in a limo turns up and whisks you to a loft apartment in Moscow, central Moscow,
Okay.
where you're going to be based for the duration. Okay,
Mhm.
and there's some friends, new Russian friends come along and welcome you, and they bring you some drinks and things, probably vodka.
Mhm.
And they say, right, unpack, settle down. We're going to take you out to a dance event, and then we're going to take you to dinner.
Mhm.
Now, in our magical fantasy year, you can choose any dance form you like to watch.
Mhm.
Okay, you can have any dancer, living or dead.
Mhm.
You can have any dance group or any dance style, and they're
Mhm.
going to take you to this, and you've got the best seat in the house.
Mhm.
What would you like to see from the dance world on that stage?
Afro house, and a whole variety of contemporary African dance. Um, yeah. So,
Lovely.
all the stuff that's taking over South Africa and West Africa, and people joyously experimenting and bringing out new dance, really modern African dance, house, electronic house music, African Afro electronic house
Yeah.
music. Yeah, all of that, that whole scene.
Afrobeat as well.
Not Afro beats,
So
but Afro house, I'm a piano. There's Afro beats is more like pop music,
yeah,
whereas I'm thinking more experimental, avant-garde, African electronic music that's really like in the club scene, and it's really dominating
yeah,
the club scenes around the world.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Love that. And for dinner, there are plenty of lovely restaurants in
Mm.
Moscow. You can choose the national cuisine, and it can be any. What would you like?
Mm, I have to admit, I'm a real Japanese food head. Um, so yeah, so um, I would, yeah, I would definitely be chicken teriyaki or salmon teriyaki. Yeah, that's what I'd like to have.
Uh, Now, next day is sport day in
hmm
Moscow. You don't have to watch a Russian sport, or
Mm.
you can take part if you wish,
hmm
or you can watch any
hmm
sport you like, because
hmm
sport is arguably a performance art. So,
Yeah,
what sport would you enjoy to watch?
basketball, just
No,
straight in there.
love it. Yeah, we can have
Yeah, and I think
basketball.
Russia do really well in basketball as well. So it would
Yeah,
be amazing. It would be
we'll,
incredible to
we'll have the
see.
dream. We'll have the dream team.
Yeah, right.
Larry
And they'll
Bird.
be having their guests from other countries. It'll be like a
Yeah,
showcase. It'll be amazing.
that'd
Or
be
even if it's just their local sides, it would be wonderful to watch. And obviously, I'm on the court, so so like,
courtside.
yeah.
Yeah, VIP.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Um, excellent. Now, the next day is Visual Art Day, and there
okay.
is a new art gallery in Moscow that immerses you into the work of a painter. Okay,
Oh.
with any visual artist you like. So what they can do is they've created a VR system that allows you to step into the painting
Oh my God.
and
I'll
walk
be on
around.
Yeah,
Who would
I'll be
you
really
choose?
honest with you. One of the things that I've been engaging with is a lot of graffiti and murals. So I was just involved in a project with three new graffiti artists, and I commissioned them to do a piece in Brighton. And I'm really fascinated with like unknown new artists. So there's no name. I know what you're saying, but I would rather go into a room where I am met with extraordinary young creative people reimagining and using like projections or whatever it is. I'd be happily, really happy to walk through and discover how they see the world and how they're interpreting it through art, kind of thing, with
Love
like a
that.
graffiti, like those graffiti walls or something like that, or
Yeah,
something even, or even, yeah, either way. I don't know. It hasn't been created, but it's just what I really enjoy doing is going into different cities and going and find, they have those little alleyways, you know.
yeah, yeah. There was a project in Basildon in Essex
Mm,
called Our Town, and
okay. Mm,
they wanted to match up muralists with disadvantaged community groups
mm-hmm,
and produce work.
mm.
But nobody in the city would let them paint on their
Oh,
buildings, right? They've managed to persuade them to do so. So there's some wonderful work with people with early onset dementia and a
mm,
muralist, the traveller community and their horses. It was just beautiful work. It became so popular in the city,
mm.
in the town, that people were doing tours to go and see all of these.
Yes.
And then when they wanted to do it a second time, they
Mm,
announced that they were going to whitewash everything out again,
mm.
start again, because
Oh,
no,
okay.
and there was uproar
Oh,
in the
people
town.
loved it.
Yeah, because you can't get rid of that. I love it. And
See, yeah. I mean, I don't know if they do links with this video, but there's a project that I'm part of in Nigeria, and we get young people, 7 to 12 years old, and they do these murals around Lagos and in their schools. And when you see them, you'll understand exactly what I mean. Being able to step into a person's free thought imagination. I don't know, you'll see.
yeah, well,
But
if you send us the link, we'll put the
yes, I
picture
will.
in the profile. Excellent,
Definitely.
great.
Mhm.
So that's your visual art day. Now we're going to
Mhm.
lighten the mood a little bit
Okay.
for the next
Mhm.
night, and you get to choose. If you want, you can have one of each, right?
Mhm.
A pop concert, a play, a musical, and an opera.
Okay.
You can have one or more.
Definitely an opera. I don't
Yeah,
know which one. And the only reason is because my daughter said to me the other day that she'd really like to go to an opera.
nice.
So one of her visit days, because I'm given one, aren't I?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
would like to go.
Tosca,
And I'd like you to recommend.
Tosca. Take her to see
Yes? Okay,
Tosca.
cool. There we
Yeah,
go. Perfect.
wonderful. Love, tragedy, hate, revenge,
Yeah.
betrayal, all in there.
Superb. Oh,
Wonderful.
love it. I love
Yeah.
it. So
In
after I've had
fact,
my teriyaki, been
yeah,
to.
perfect. Now, next day is film day.
Oh, okay.
Now, your Russian
Hmm.
friends have asked you to recommend a movie that you will all go and see that you love that might come as a surprise to them.
The first thing that jumped into my mind was Trading Places. I love that film.
I
I
love that film.
love that film.
I love that
Um,
film. Winthrop,
um,
Winthrop.
yeah, it's so good. Yeah, Golden Child, anything with Eddie Murphy in it.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love.
the
If
other
you're
one, which is awful, but it's like my
guilty secret.
yes, it's not going to be a secret anymore. Is True Lies. So awful. Like, it's
Is that
so
the
brilliant.
one? I
With
think.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, she looks
Yeah,
in that.
I know,
Um,
right? But it's great because you
yeah.
know
There's a
because
segment in that movie that's been watched more than any other.
how is it?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Brilliant. But yeah, I think I think oh yeah, I think it would have to be Trading
Yeah,
Places.
good. I love
Yeah,
it.
it's just great. It's silly, it's wonderful.
My other one of my favorites is As Good as It Gets with Jack
Oh,
Nicholson.
Oh, I don't know that.
Oh, Helen Hunt and Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. Oh, yes, I do. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, of course I do. Well,
He
yeah,
plays this
definitely.
kind of rude,
Yes,
reclusive
yeah. I
author.
love that.
Yeah,
It's great, isn't
I
it?
know. Go sell
Yeah.
crazy somewhere else. We're all stopped up here.
This is it. I mean, like, I could have picked, there's loads of important films, but they're not surprising. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You know, sometimes it's nice to just have something that just gets you, like, oh
yeah.
my God, I didn't see that coming. You know,
Right,
you know.
right. The next day is Hero
Yes.
Day.
Oh.
Hero Day. I can bring to have a leisurely 2-hour lunch with you,
Mm.
any 3 people,
Oh
living
my
or dead.
God.
Who might you want round that lunch table?
This is gonna sound wild. John Major, only
Oh,
because it'd be really, I know, but because it'd be good to find out what that was going on.
yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So that I can debunk my conspiracy theories in my mind. Do you know what I mean? Like, really?
You could have all 3 could be people who can answer the question for you and clear
You
it up.
know, so he would
Yeah.
definitely be one because there's a lot of head scratching going on. Like, I mean, really?
Mm,
And he seems like the kind of person that knew a lot of stuff. You know, he knew all the secrets and lies and still does.
mm,
You can tell. You can tell.
mm.
um, um, who else? Prince. I know that sounds really
Oh,
obvious, but
oh, yeah. I saw
you
the
know what I
Love
mean?
Sexy. I saw the Love
Yeah.
Sexy tour in the
Did
round at
you?
Wembley. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Little red Corvette. I was down the front. Loved it.
whatever.
And
Because
have
then
you
when we
seen?
get bored, he would just start playing.
I know. I mean, he was probably
Mm.
the most underrated musician. Incredible guitarist. And
Yeah.
have you seen the clip on YouTube of him when he does "When My Guitar Gently Weeps"?
Yes.
Oh my God!
Don't even get me started.
And he throws the guitar in the air and it disappears.
Listen, that's my lullaby. That's my,
Yeah,
exactly. That's my motivational
yeah.
video sort of thing.
And
Oh, so good.
he does an appearance on a chat show. If you search US
Mm.
chat show Prince, you'll find
Okay.
it. It's the funkiest thing I've ever heard in my life. And it's live, and it's with Sheila E,
Amazing.
on percussion.
Oh, I'm
Incredible.
guessing that they don't have to be alive. Do they have to be
Correct,
alive?
correct.
Oh,
They don't.
okay. I
Yeah,
just took that leap.
yeah.
And let's. Oh God, who else? Who else? Um, this is a tough one. I want to do a lady, have a lady at the seat, for balance.
Yeah.
um, I can't think of a third
Can
one.
I
Can we
make
come back to
can I
it?
make a
Oh,
suggestion?
go on then.
Maya Angelou.
No, because I know enough about her. I want to
Oh,
meet with
okay.
people. So this is the way my brain works. I like to meet with people that have got loads of gaps. I don't
Right.
need to meet with people because I like them. You
Right.
know,
Okay.
I want to meet with because the thing is, I know so many with female, characters, and I want to meet someone that's got information that I really haven't got access to.
Interesting.
You
Okay. Well,
know,
think
that's why
on.
I've got John Major and Prince.
Yeah.
And I will think, because can we go back to it? Can I
We'll
then
come
have
back to
a,
it. Yeah.
a moment and go, because I'll turn up late.
Excellent. We're nearly there, and then we're
Yes.
going to play the this or that game quick.
Okay, let me just do one. It's rubbish and it would completely kill the whole dynamic. And I really can't believe I'm going to. Actually, do you know? I was going to say Diana Ross, but let's throw in
Mhm.
Grace Jones, chuck her in.
Wow, Grace
I
Jones.
mean,
Yeah, that's
can you
going to be
imagine how happy John Major would be?
yeah.
Oh my God, living his
um,
best life.
and that that would be great. I love it.
He'd be so happy.
Yeah, that's a great lunch.
You know that he loves her. You know.
Oh, and he will.
Yeah.
She won't make it easy for him though.
Oh, and he'll love it more.
Yeah. Excellent. Right. This is so your first
Yes.
week's nearly done.
Okay.
You have to finish off, you've
Mm-hmm.
got one of those wonderful days in our lives, if you're a busy person,
Mm-hmm.
where you know from the moment you wake up to the moment you put your head back on the pillow, the day is entirely yours. There are no work commitments, no family commitments, no friend commitments, no jobs that haven't been done. Your personal admin is all up to date, right? You've switched energy, you know, everything's done, right?
Yeah.
You're in Moscow and you can do whatever you like. We'll give you transport, guides, helicopters, whatever it is you want. You can do whatever you like in Moscow for the day. What are you going to do?
I mean, you don't really want to know what I'm going to say.
You're going to stay in bed all day.
So the PG version would be maybe just do a tourism day, you know, get a horse-drawn thingy,
Yeah.
you know, get to see all the classic tourism things, you know, have a picnic,
Yeah.
do a just
And if we could allow you to take a guest with you,
yes.
Anyone you like, male or female, in whom there might be a romantic interest.
No, past that. No, I would actually really enjoy, and it sounds again really, I'd really enjoy to have this experience, this new experience with my daughter, because the reason I picked Russia is because it's so new and I know nothing about it. And it would just be really wonderful to see something different, people who have been come out of a different crucible than me, you
Yeah.
know, and see how, you know, be in a market, how do they, you know, interact? What's on their mind? You know, go if the guide likes me enough and my daughter enough, they might take us to his auntie's house and we can have, do you know what I mean? We can have
Yeah.
food with their family and they can tell us what their life is like and, you know, and then make us drink vodka and, you know, that's my ideal day, that, you know, really get inside of like the community.
Now you're on your way home. You're on the
Yes.
aeroplane,
Hmm.
first class. You turned left when you got on the plane. You're first class. And one of the conditions that was imposed upon you was that you must limit your musical listening to one genre of music during your year. Okay.
Oh yeah, okay.
So you've just spent a year only listening to what? What type of music would you limit yourself to for a year?
I really like jazz.
Okay, so you've been
Yeah,
listening.
and I like so go. Mhm,
No, I'm just saying you've been listening to jazz for the
mhm.
whole year.
Yes.
Now you're on the plane, that restriction has been lifted. So what's the one piece of music that's not jazz that you haven't listened to for a year that you would want to hear
I
on the
mean, I love Afro house, you know, and
plane?
so I've got an amazing DJ because I do this festival, this Afro house festival in Ghana, and there's an amazing DJ called Sensei Lo, and she just does the
How
most
do you spell that?
Sensei, Sensei, and then new word Lo, Lo. And it's a duo, and they do the most amazing like soundscapes. Just love it.
I'm going to have
And
a listen. I'm going to
yeah,
go
see if you can find. I think it'll be on
YouTube perhaps or
no
SoundCloud,
music. So
Spotify.
aw- I'm so awful with all of these. There's so many platforms. Audio something.
Okay, I'll go and have a look.
Um, I can drop it in the thing if I find it.
Yeah.
I can drop my favorite one in there.
Yeah, I can pop it. I'll pop it on the
Yeah, do on the link. I'll send it to
yeah.
you. I'll send you my favorite one. It's amazing.
Brilliant. Yemisi, thank you so
Oh,
much
no,
for
thank
doing
you.
this. I hope that was a fun
It
year.
was curious.
We'll some people say, can you please start a travel agency so I can book this, please? You know,
Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna make this happen.
oh, it'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
We'll have to do the this or that game next time.
Okay.
But this has been lovely. So wherever this appears, there'll be links to you and the work that
Oh,
you're doing.
thank you.
My colleague Isabel will write a profile about you, so the
Mhm.
profile will go on the website. Um,
Superb.
please don't rush off, but for the time
Okay.
being, thank you so much for doing this. It's been a delight and
Oh, it's a
love.
pleasure. Thank you so much.